is Friday, and I am happy about that. I'm looking forward to a weekend with my grandkids. So I hope you have some fun and relaxing time scheduled for the weekend. So today I wanted to come to you with a saying that I've heard, something that I've heard says, sometimes when you're in a dark place, you tend to think that you've been buried. What if you've been planted? Instead of being buried, what if you've been planted? And it made me think that there has been so many times that I have found myself in a dark place. So many times, one after another, some of them lasting longer than others. Um, and I know that I'm not alone in that. I know that I'm not the only one that has trials and has hard times. So, uh, but some would ask during those times, some would ask, why would God let me, cause me, allow me, whatever, to have to endure this? They would question God's goodness in their trials, particularly if they're a very long and hard one. And that brought me to James 1:13 through 14. James 1:13 through 14. And this is the amplified version. So it says, let no one say when he is tempted, I am being tempted by God. For temptation, sin, or pain, or darkness does not originate from God, but from our own flaws. And that could be our flaws or somebody else's flaws um, that's causing this darkness. But temptation does not originate from God. And for God cannot be tempted by what is evil, and he himself tempts no one. But each one is tempted when he is dragged away, enticed, or baited. Dragged away, enticed, or baited to commit sin by his own worldly desire, lust, and passion. And so, when you're going through trials, don't immediately or don't go to God and say, why are you doing this? You may say, why, God, am I having to go through this? Please help me find my way out of it. But don't blame God, because God cannot be tempted or will not tempt. So whether it's self-induced darkness, and there is such a thing as that, or caused by others, I have learned that even though, even though my God does not cause it, he will use it. God will use the pain that I have found myself in, or the darkness that I have found myself in, and he will use it. So I started years ago by looking back at my past darkness. So, I said I've had many, one after another. And I started looking back at my past darkness and seeing how God used that time and how he brought me through it. So I watch what I can learn. I watch what I can learn through it. So now when, something comes up, it's like, what is it that he's going to teach me through this? What can I learn that's going to make it better for me, or make it better and helpful for someone else? What can I learn through this? So there is always a lesson that will help me take my next step. The next step that God wants me to take, there's always going to be a lesson that I can learn through the hard times that's going to help me take that next step. And that brings me to James 1:2 through 4. James 1, 2 through 4, again, this is the Amplified Version, says, "Consider it nothing but joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever if you fall into various trials. Be assured that the testing of your faith through experience, you have to have the experience, the testing of your faith produces endurance, which leads to spiritual maturity and inner peace." And I can tell you that is 100% true, that the testing of my faith produced endurance, and it brings spiritual maturity and inner peace. And let endurance have its perfect result, and do a thorough work, so that you may be perfect and completely developed. So you may be perfect and completely developed in your faith, not in the outside world, not in the way that others will view you, but you will be made perfect and completely developed in your faith, lacking in nothing. So I want to encourage you today to today, tomorrow, or next week. There will be another time when darkness comes. I want to encourage you to look for the lesson. There will be a lesson there for you. Have a great day. If it's your weekend when you're watching this, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.